This is Digital Trends Live. Thank you for joining us. We broadcast live every weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. And I'm Greg Nibbler here in our Portland studio, but this is not our only studio. So we're broadcasting live across the internet, and we're also broadcasting from our studio in New York. And that's where we're going to head right now. We have Jeremy Kaplan, our editor-in-chief, standing by. I'm extremely jealous because he is sitting there with the CEO and co-founder of Bartesian, Ryan Close, with a cocktail making machine. This is what Jeremy gets to do today. Hello, Jeremy.
I have the best job, and I say it repeatedly and consistently, and it is true. As you pointed out, joined by Ryan Close, the mad genius and founder behind the Bartesian system. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thanks, Jeremy. Glad to be here. Really excited.
So you've seen coffee makers that do this, that do automated coffee systems. This is a step above it and so much better. It's an automated drink system. What got you started with this system?
Well, you know, I had bartended in the past, very poorly. For many years.
As we all have.
Yeah, put myself through college, and you know, I had met a few, you know, really strong engineers several years back, and we're tinkering with the concept of, you know, using the model of single-serve beverage and applying it to premium cocktails. I fell in love with it, and so, you know, we worked together on developing and iterating, and what we have here is the, you know, premium cocktail machine, Bartesian, that is launching this month.
So we've got whiskey and tequila over here. You've got gin with this vodka on this side.
That's right, that's right.
And then you just open the top, pop a little pod in. Look, it sounds good, but does it actually work? I need you to make me a drink.
Absolutely.
So and yes, it's only noon, but I don't care. We're having some drinks.
That's the best part of my job. Because I don't need to make excuses, right? It's part of the job.
It's part of the job. You have to.
Cocktails.
If you're not drunk, you're not doing it right.
So again, the capsules are really where a lot of the magic happens. They're barcoded, labeled. All the liqueur, bitter, and juices are in here with non-alcoholic form.
Yep.
So really simple. This one we'll pick an old-fashioned, but we have, you know, hundreds that we've developed. We're launching with about 7 or 8.
Okay.
So you lift this up, pop it in, and you close it, and so automatically it'll tell you what glass to put underneath.
And you can't see there's a little screen on top that shows you some information here.
Right. So digital automatically knows what you've selected and put in there. It's telling you to put a low ball in, so we're going to hit go forward. And this is a couple, you know, really important factors. Is you can select the strength, so you can have a mocktail, single, double, and keep going there from there. So, you know, it's still early, so let's do a regular, and then we just hit mix, and that's it. And so you'll see it's going to pull the alcohol. So whether it's a vodka cocktail, gin, if it's a Long Island iced tea, it's going to pull from multiple. There's a water reservoir in the back here. And so it's going to reconstitute those ingredients inside the capsule, so it's extremely fresh. So in this case, an old-fashioned doesn't take a lot of water. Some of our rum breeze cocktails is a little bit more. It's concentrate. It takes about 20 seconds to make. It self-cleans. And then the capsule's fully recyclable as well, which is really important to us through our development.
I used the phrase mad genius before, and I stand by it. May I try it?
Please do.
I'm going for it. It tastes exactly like you expected it to taste. It tastes like a great cocktail.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, people are always surprised. They're like, wow, this actually tastes like a Cosmo or a margarita. It tastes exactly at a premium bar. And, you know, we don't shortchange what we put inside the ingredients. I mean, everything in the ingredient is the real stuff that you expect.
It's. I had an experience recently where I rode in a self-driving taxi. Okay. And like, oh my God, piloted by robots. And then you get in it, and it's just like being in any other taxi because all it is there's a robot driving it. Kind of the same thing here. Like, you wouldn't expect. In your head, you're saying, well, it's a robot bartender, but you know what? It's just making cocktails, so it tastes like a cocktail. The end product's the same.
That's exactly it. I mean, we've pre-programmed the machine up to 1 million different cocktails. I mean, likely we won't get there in my lifetime, but so really it comes down to the capsules and coming up with different ideas. We've got, you know, rhubarb, jalapeno shrubs that we've developed. Our food science team is world class. So really, you know, we've got aviation, Sazeracs, Negronis.
You know what's cool about this, actually? You got me thinking. Part of the challenge for me when I'm at home making cocktails is I don't have the ingredients.
Right.
The rhubarb for the Sazerac, for example. I would never have that sitting around.
Right.
But you go to the store, you pick up 5 or 10 of these things, and you've got those just sitting around ready to go.
Well, you nailed it. That was really the kind of problem we sought out to solve. Is like, hey, listen, we like making cocktails. We like having guests over at our house, and we still haven't known how to adult yet. So I'm still, you know, it was in my, you know, 30s, early 30s, pulling out, you know, bottles of booze on my island, juices, glasses, and people coming over, and no one really knows how to make the cocktail. So that, you know, you're having a +1. right? Maybe you're having a vodka soda or something
Exactly.
like that. But people want to try new things. So with this Bartesian, you're able to try multiple different cocktails.
Ryan, you started this on Kickstarter a few years ago. I want you to walk me through the process of creating a business on Kickstarter, because it's very hard. People don't realize the challenges of raising capital, of making an actual thing, a product, the challenges that come behind doing that. What was it like for you? Tell me about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, how long do we have here? Do you have an hour? I'll try to be really succinct, but ultimately, it's a lot about fake it till you make it, to be completely blunt. We had a really great concept. We had some smart engineers who were able to kind of put something together with paper mache and duct tape and enough that it would show
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Right. So it's like, hey, this is going to work. This is how it works, and the drinks are going to taste really good. Trust us. We knew it inside, and we need X amount of money to make this a reality. So it was a lot of hustle, it was a lot of run around doing, conversations like this, talking about the product. But even once we raised, over $100,000, we were top 1% at Kickstarter, we still were left with the fact that, okay, wait a sec, and I think a lot of companies are who do these fundraising through Kickstarters, is they're like, this is not near enough cash. Right, like this is not. I can't even come close.
Well, how do you ballpark something like that?
Right.
We can't even estimate how many people are at an event. How
Totally.
many people were at Trump's inauguration? Nobody really knows.
Right.
It's hard to guess or to predict how much money you're going to need.
Well, that's it. So it's we thought, okay, we've got over 100. We knew it wasn't enough. We thought, okay, we can scratch together the rest, which we did. So we didn't really have a formal round. We led kind of we raised as we went. So if we needed a couple $100K for this, we would go and we'd say, let's find whether it was a convertible note or a safe, and so we had different investment instruments along the way to kind of just push us to each stage, and each stage would obviously reduce the risk factor. Where we were able to get purchase orders from actual retailers, still without the product, mind you,
right?
Which was was something we're quite proud of. Obviously now we have the product, we're shipping, and people are loving it.
So you were telling me before about a partnership that you formed to actually get the product out the door.
Yeah, so we kind of came to a fork in the road. It was dragging on a little while with the machine. We had done our tooling in China. We had found a factory that we felt pretty comfortable with. They weren't great though. It was the best we could find though, with our resources and our contacts. And they did the tooling, and we were kind of saying, okay, how much money do we need? We were getting some big orders, and then we kind of forgot about the capsules. We thought, okay, hey, it can't be that complex, we'll get there. But what we really didn't realize is the supply chain challenges with shelf stability, which is kind of boring conversation, but ultimately the capsule needs to be shelf stable for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
It has to taste good when the consumer drinks it, and there's a lot of steps in between us making it in Wisconsin, from getting to the retailer to getting ingested. So we needed to make sure that we were applying the right resources to that. So essentially we found a partner. We said, okay, are we going to farm out the machine and get licensed that, or are we going to farm out the capsules and to a CPG company and get them to do that? And we chose to farm the machine out. We licensed it, so we still own it. We own the IP. We manage it, the marketing. It's a Bartesian brand. But we source it to someone who's done it for 100 years, do it really well, and then it helps us with our working capital challenges too. We can fulfill orders.
So not just a Kickstarter thing. This is an actual real product you're going to be able to buy. Pricing, availability, where can we find it?
Yeah, so we're online at Bartesian.com right now. We are $2.99 right now. We'll soon be brick and mortar in about in the end of September. So we'll be in Best Buys, Bell's, we'll be on Amazon, etc. all September. And it'll go to $3.49 once we're on the shelves there. But right now it's $2.99. The capsules are $14.99 for a 6-pack, so $2.50 per. And again, it's not just a general mixer. I mean, everything in here is the real ingredient. It's non-alcoholic, but we put the actual bitters and liqueurs, things like muddled cilantro, cucumber bitters, real ingredients.
I've got a muddled cilantro pack just sitting at home. Everyone's got that line.
Of course, right?
So you said there were 7 or 8 types of drinks that are launching at launch here?
Yes, we've got, we did a lot of research into, what consumers want. So we have, Cosmos, margaritas, old-fashioned whiskey sours. But we've already developed, things like Negroni, Sazeracs, Paper Planes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's a Paper Plane?
So it's a really innovative new cocktail, relatively new. It's actually been around probably 10, 15 years, but it's a very bourbon-based cocktail, very delicious. It's a third through other liqueurs, and it's delicious. It's amazing.
I'm gonna have to go try that.
Yeah, I recommend it.
So I got to ask you, what's your go-to drink?
To be honest,
Poured me an old-fashioned at my request because I like that.
It is old-fashioned. I apologize I didn't have the cherry for you today. You know, I like to dress it up a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, old-fashioned. It's simple. It's basic, and just it's got all the flavors. So I'm huge into that now. But paper plane, and I'm starting to get that taste for the Negroni as well. That that strong kind of bitterness.
I love the Negroni,
Mm-hmm.
but that's an acquired taste. A lot of people are not as particular.
It is, but I'm getting there. I'm working towards it.
Well, you saw it here first, the Bartesian. Thank you very much for coming in,
My pleasure.
Ryan.
Thank you.
I need to go look up this paper plane thing. So I got to go take a break. And we're going to take a break here at Digital Trends. But stay tuned. There's plenty more cool tech just around the corner.